What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Today I got a real good video for y'all, for entertainment purposes only. So stay tuned to the end. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell, and leave a comment. But without further ado, let's just run it.
The theory that we live in a hologram is the holographic principle. It suggests that the universe is like a hologram, in which information about the entire three-dimensional universe is encoded in a two-dimensional surface. The principle was first proposed in the 1990s by physicist Gerard T. Hooft and further developed by physicist Leonard Susskind. It is based on the idea that the total amount of information that can be contained in a given region of space is proportional to the surface area of that region. According to this principle, the universe can be thought of as a hologram in which all the information about the three-dimensional world is contained on the two-dimensional surface of its boundary. In other words, everything we experience in 3 dimensions is a projection of information that is encoded on a lower dimensional surface. While the holographic principle is a topic of debate, it could explain some mysteries of the cosmos. The theory that we live in a hologram is
This reality here is a simulation. Science tells us this. This isn't really what we are. We're simply experiencing this from wherever it is we actually are. We know this, for example, because our brain isn't real either. Because science tells us that all physical objects, the entire physical world, is made up of lattices that are resonating and phasing in and out. So they're holographic. So if all physical objects are phasing in and out and are holographic, then our brain, which is also a physical object, is also doing the same thing. So our brain is simply the physical representation in this simulation of what we are. It's what we designed to be the avatar, to represent the complexity of what we really are.
The thought of living a simulation is crazy. Sometimes I feel like the answers that we see, we wouldn't even be able to comprehend if it was told to us.
AI robots are practicing out their facial expressions in the mirror just to see how good they're doing. Now, I'm not saying they're doing as well as the Kardashians or the British royal family, but those groups have had decades of practice. The robots are just starting out, and I think they're doing pretty good. You know, it's not going to be that long till we're going to know when these things are walking amongst us. Heck, they might be doing it now. There could be a Kardashian in there, we don't know. Now these robots and their manufacturers got to start wrapping stuff up pretty quick. Because according to the Elon Musk, in a little over 15 years, there could be close to 1 billion of these robots. Yeah, 1 billion walking the earth. And did you know There's already some of them out there right now. This article's from last year about humanoid robots already in service. Service of what? I don't know. They ain't helping me. These AI robots are ready, and they're coming. They're coming quicker than a trip to the bathroom after eating at Olive Garden. Shabadoo Booskies! Shabadoo!
Yeah, pretty soon I could see more robots on the streets than humans, in the form of delivery services, trash services, robots moving about selling refreshments, and the list goes on.
John Deere is partnering with Starlink. If you're not from the howdy parts of the United States, then you may not know that John Deere doesn't just make tractors and excavators, but also engines, automated programs, and software tools for remote monitoring. About 30% of rural areas do not have reliable Wi-Fi, so John Deere has partnered with Starlink, a SpaceX subsidiary that provides internet via satellite, as opposed to the 99% of the internet that runs through cables. This is one of my favorite internet facts. Starlink launched in 2019, and they have just over 5,000 working satellites in orbit, and they hope to increase that to 36,700 in the next few years, which sounds great at first, because these rural areas that provide our food need access to the internet. The problem is that Starlink is going to be a major contributor to the ever-growing existential crisis that is space junk, which travels at least 17,000 miles per hour, and there are over 40,000 of these bullets flying around that are bigger than 10 centimeters. Too much space junk, which we have not cleaned up at all, and will be trapped on the surface, unable to break through this web of bullets. Starlink is not a bad idea. Cables have their shortcomings and need constant maintenance. An additional internet source would benefit rural America, but this will turn into an Ouroboros of problems if we don't clean up our junk first.
95% of all telephone and data is transferred over submarine cables. Not satellite. Not satellite.
Phone calls, banking, web surfing, email, streaming video, and other communication.
Heavy case?
And it all began 150 years ago.
We have here samples of the early cables from the 1850s.
Some of the items have not been on display in more than a century.
With this cable now, it was what, minutes?
Yeah, that's right.
It sounds like this was the original information age.
That's right.
If you've ever phoned or emailed someone on another continent, you can dial up some gratitude for something that happened a century and a half ago.
It's been 150 years since the first transatlantic cable began ushering in global communications. And now tech giants are taking that undersea revolution a big step further.
This is how worldwide communication begins.
Not satellite. Not satellite.
Stop. You're not going to want to miss this. Yeah, zoom in right there. What it say? Shit burgers. This scientist has created a way to transform human feces into burgers. Oh, it's just the beginning. It gets a lot crazier. Yeah, they synthesizing food from human waste matter, and they creating it into an edible steak created from human feces. Hold on, where's the protein from this steak coming from? See, Mr. Akita found that the mud contained a great deal of protein because of all the bacteria. I literally can't make this up. And then they added red food coloring and soy protein to try to cover up the ass secretion flavor of these poop burgers. They go along to say this scientist doesn't believe in human waste. He said it's perfectly good protein that you're sending out to the sea. Bro, I'm in tears reading this, bro. They say he found a way to extract it and mix it with steak sauce. The only reason why he said he created this turd is because Tokyo is under sewage. And the only way out is to eat it. And I'm sorry, but me personally, there's not a crisis in this world that can make me wrap my lips around this burger that's full of 1,000 years of ass clap. But this really what the world has come to. Feces burgers. Y'all let me know what y'all think about them creating poop burgers in the comments. Like and follow for more wisdom mistakes.
Poop burgers? Nah, I ain't too fond of that idea. But if we was in the end of world scenario, how many of y'all eating them poop meals?
A mysterious red glow captured by a pilot flying over the Pacific Ocean has sent the internet into a spin.
From a cockpit 31,000 feet over the North Pacific, a pilot sees and photographs a mystery red glow below. We had no idea what we were looking at. We were making jokes about being in the middle of some sort of military exercise or some sort of alien invasion. Once the photos and a short video made it to the internet, let the guessing game begin. Undersea volcano eruption. It's a UFO, unidentified floating object.
Crazy things caught on camera. An ice storm in St. Louis caused this fire truck to do a complete 360, almost hitting these two houses, but going right in the hole right there, not damaging anything.
Do you guys remember everything that has been happening with Lake Michigan this year so far? And here's a recap. You know, the lighthouse was frozen. The water basically turned into a 7-Eleven slushie. It's crazy. And I was made aware because of the hot feces and the pharmaceuticals mixed with the Chicago cold air is the reason why this foggy smoke exists. And I say all that to say this. Well, they found this irregular DNA strand formation going through the lake. I don't know how they were able to capture this, but check this out, y'all, and listen to all the excuses that they have going with this. They really have no idea what is going on, but we already know this is a spiritual war, and this is literally, you know, the universe talking to us.
I had a chance to see this really cool looking lake effect snow band over Lake Michigan on Friday morning. It dumped a huge amount of snow in parts of northwestern Indiana, especially. I think LaPorte got over 1.5 feet. But the reason I wanted to talk about it, it caught my eye because it just had such a ridiculously cool shape to it. It's almost this kind of helix DNA type of shape, kind of a spiral. It almost looks like a slinky or something like that. Let's switch over to the high resolution radar. And yeah, this is showing up as green, but trust me, it's snow. That is not any rain that you're seeing in that band there. And it had some really heavy snow rates in it. I want to talk about what is necessary in order to see this type of shape on radar.
Like the aurora.
In order for the lake effect band to be strong in the first place, you've got to have a big difference in temperature between the water temperatures and the cold air that's moving on top of it. We've got close to record water temperatures for this time of year in Lake Michigan this year, you know, mid-30s or so, and then we have Arctic air in the teens and single digits. Slowly filtering in from the north on top of that relatively warm water. The other thing that I think we're seeing here that's actually causing this shape is something called a land breeze, all right? So the winds are generally fairly calm. Sometimes under the right circumstances, you can get these land breezes to develop, which basically means wind coming off of the land, and not only on the Michigan side from east to west, but also on the Wisconsin and Illinois side from west to east. It's the opposite of a lake breeze. The lake breeze is an onshore flow, like when it's really hot in Chicago in the summer, and then you go right on the lake shore and it's 15 degrees cooler. That's the wind blowing from the water onto the land. In this case, we've got the wind blowing from the land onto the water, and it's kind of meeting in the middle and creating these little vortices. Now, we're not seeing any tornadoes or anything like that. This is not the right setup for that, but I just thought it was a really cool thing that caught my eye, and it did dump a humongous amount of snow in some.
You see, there's a reason why it's green and they blacked out its surrounding area. This thing is literally the aurora borealis being released by the black sun. He was also adamant to say that it was green and that it was not rain, it was snow. He was also adamant in letting us know that it was a land breeze instead of a lake breeze. So much so, he went in depth in explaining the difference between a land breeze and a lake breeze. That is very important. So we live in the Matrix. And the Matrix is just this super elaborate cosmic video game that we are all a part of. So since we are in a video game, everything is encoded and everything is numerical. So we can use gematria to figure out what they are talking about, what is happening. So over here, we have land breeze. It gives us 39. I told you there was a reason why they outlined the back of it and just showed the green, because again, 39 gives you the black sun. The black sun is also known as the emerald sun because it releases the emerald light, which is the aurora borealis, which is your heart energy, the heart space. This is the dream weaver. This is the black hole that creates the reality. This is our subconscious mind coming to the surface now. This is analogous to our junk DNA coming to the surface, our code or our soul. This is why J. Cole made a cold world. J. Cole is J. Soul, Jah soul, soul, coal and soul is the same thing. Made a cold world, a soul world. So this snow is a representation of our soul being released. You know, our soul, our code. Snow gives you 21 in Chaldean. You also have Ascend gives you 21 in Chaldean. You also have Aquarius gives you 21 in Chaldean. And 21 is just 12 reverse, you know, the 12 tribes of Judah, you know, the 12 Jews, 12 Israelite, 12 strand DNA, 12 months in a year, 12 disciples. So many things with the number 12. So again, this is for the 12, the real Jews, and you rocking with the juice. So yes, I just thought you guys should be aware of this and what's going on, because he doesn't look too happy, y'all. Watch the video game. He doesn't look too happy at what's about to happen. This age of Aquarius is bringing all truths to the surface. I told y'all, everything hidden was come to the dark. Your subconscious, our subconscious has been hidden. Our soul, our ether has been hidden. Now it's coming to the light, y'all. It must face the light too. That's you. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, comment, and share for more videos like this. This video is solely for entertainment purposes only. I am only raising awareness to interesting situations during these interesting times. Thank y'all for tuning to my frequency. We in this shit, y'all. We getting it. Peace out.
I never seen a storm shaped like that. It was too symmetrical to be natural.
Enoch said that he supposedly seen this, right? And this is what the true form of what an angel is supposed to look like in true form. So basically Enoch said that he was seeing this shit, right? There's a video that's going around that said that they seen a UFO, but I think it was an angel just like this. Look at this video, y'all. And look what that joint look like. Look, do y'all see the eye in the middle, bro? Do y'all see it? It's looking over and watching everything. Watching everybody. Look at that. Bro. Yo. Do y'all see that? What is going on in our world right now, bro? This is only the first. Look at that. Are y'all telling me that's not the same thing, bro? Look at it. That's what that joint is, bro. Probably the reason why they keep doing this. Crazy chemtrails. Look at the shadow on that joint. Don't even look real.
Wake up out of your sleep.
Totally different crafts, but I catch his drift.
I know you hear this a lot. Oh, energy can never lie in the New Age spiritual community. But that's not true. Energy can 100% lie. If you use the theory of energy cannot be created nor destroyed, it can only be transformed or changed, then that means somebody's base energy can be transmuted, alchemized into something else that may not necessarily be the truth. For example, I'll give you a very, very real life thing that you need to watch out for. Pathological liars. Pathological liars, like narcissists, especially narcissists, they believe their lies because they genuinely are that delusional and they genuinely believe their lies. When they tell you these lies and they're feeding this energy to you, it feels like the truth because that is their truth. It may not be a universal or objective truth, but that's their subjective truth. And you, being the innocent victim, you would totally buy their lie that they feed you as truth, and you think it is true because in your heart, it feels like the truth. You're probably going to ask me in the comments, well, how do I actually find out the truth? You have to understand how these liars, these spiritual liars, even fake spiritual gurus, how they actually operate. Whether they know it or not, a lot of them do, but some of them don't. They operate through an antichrist consciousness or an antichrist heart. Now, in actual Christ teachings, I'm not talking about biblical, like religious Christ. I'm talking about the true ancient Christ teachings before religion was even a thing. There's a thing called Flame of Truth. There's actually a mural painted by an artist of Jesus, and he's pointing at his heart, and the heart is on fire. When someone is in the Antichrist consciousness, and you have even just a little bit of Antichrist consciousness in your heart, they can actually feed you lies because you're receptive to that energy. You're tuning into the same frequency as them. If you want to figure out the actual truth of what's going on, you need to have as much Christ consciousness as possible. And that starts in your heart. Now, I say this a lot in my videos, but to truly activate your Christ consciousness, you need to have a balanced heart. This is why the ancient Egyptians, when the Pharaoh passes away and he goes into the afterlife, he needs his heart weighed by a feather. That means non-attachment as much as possible. You cannot have lust, pride, ego, or unhealthy ego. Any of those things, like those 7 sins, you can't have it. So if you really truly want to be a walking truth seeker, a walking truth frequency, you need to have as much Christ consciousness as possible. Now, I'm not saying totally be like Jesus Christ. We are not at that stage yet for humanity. It will come. But this is how you don't get manipulated by other people and their lies that feel like the truth. And any of you who have dealt with narcissists, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you want to know how Antichrist consciousness even came to be, my book, Made in God's Image, link in my bio, talks about the Matrix, Antichrist consciousness, what the fallen angels are, how we got stuck in this Matrix, and how to truly heal your heart to ascend out of here, because your heart is the key to get out of here. So to wrap this all up, yes, energy can 100% lie. This is what the Luciferians, the Satanists, these Illuminati do all the time, and guess what? Majority of humanity buys it. Even spiritual people buy it. You have a lot of false spiritual teachers in this spiritual community, and people who are spiritually waking up and think that they're, feeling the frequency of truth. They're actually being lied to as well. So have discernment on your spiritual path, and I wish you the best.
Vid Facts, Part 187. Shalimar Suley was a trans sex worker who became infamous in 1997 when she was seen getting into Eddie Murphy's car. A year later, she was found dead on the sidewalk outside of her Los Angeles apartment. She apparently locked herself outside of her 5th floor unit and tried to use a towel as a rope to swing down. From the 1940s through the 70s, many Ivy League campuses, including Yale, Harvard, and Princeton, required all incoming freshmen to have nude photos taken of them. Administrators claimed it was to gauge the rate of diseases like rickets and scoliosis, but many believe the true reason behind them was much creepier. Most of the photos have since been destroyed, but thousands of them still remain in the Smithsonian's possession. Until 2001, workers in Disneyland had to wear communal underwear while in character, because normal undies would bunch up and become visible. But after several outbreaks of pubic lice, Disney finally agreed to let their employees wear their own underwear.
If World War III started tomorrow, how many people will survive? Go get your water, go get your food, go get your can, build your underground bunker, don't go outside. I just want to say fear is a hell of a drug. Once again, when these people come on TV and make speeches like this, you have to understand, they are not talking to us, they are talking to them. They use the media platforms to send subliminal messages to each other. But by the time we get that message, we all are living in fear. They told us the monster was coming to get us ever since we was little. We are still afraid of the same monster. There is no monster under the bed. There is no monster in the closet. It's all BS. There are so many people waiting for this to take place. It will not take place. Did you know that you can be in the world but not of the world at the same time? This will be reality to some people, but it don't have to be your reality. It's a reason why all these clear quarks was breaking through the planet. She is trying to talk to us. Crystals is the best way to communicate with us because we have crystals or a pineal gland inside of our head. The frequencies or the vibration of this planet is so high right now. Everyone is becoming crystals or Christ-like beings. But so many people are worried about this in the background and they are forgetting about the greatest connection we have, which is the planet. Did you know that all cities are actually connected to the matrix? There is a supercomputer under every city we live in. All cities are circuit boards controlled by artificial intelligence. If you want to know how to escape this, get out of the city. Nature is the only thing that can protect us. As long as you are living in the cities, you won't be protected. Check out the ebook if you want to know more about the circuit city matrix. Remember, we never was at war with no one. They are always at war. Somehow, some way, we always attach ourselves to the BS. Remember, you can shift your reality. You don't have to be in the matrix. We choose to be in the matrix because we know nothing else. They've been telling us the same story for thousands of years. Every time they tell us the same story, we think it's real. It's not real. They don't create reality. They give us ideas so we can create reality for them. But they know that their game is over. So while their game is over, we gotta learn how to play our own game. Don't get caught up in the BS because we're going to lose because they're losing. Don't be connected to the BS.
Yo, falling in the grave is nuts. I feel cursed for life after that.
So you know how everyone's crazy about this pink rock Himalayan salt. There is a conspiracy going around that this salt is not really salt, but it is in fact the muscles and blood and fat of fossilized giants. All right. Now, these pictures right here, they're very good. It's a very good argument because when you look at the rock fissure, okay, there is what looks like muscle definition, the marrow on the inside of bones. So I get it. And I have seen the videos about the giant trees that have been cut down, the giant mushrooms and things like that. Skin cells here. Okay, so when you're looking at landscapes on a large scale, you are going to find things that look like a face or that look like objects. I understand. But some of these pictures are really good for that argument. Now, did giants exist? Absolutely. The Bible talks about giants in the time of Noah, and that there will be giants in the time of the return for Jesus to come back, right? For the tribulation. So, yes, giants did exist. Now, were they petrified? I don't know. I know only what the Bible says. I know the giants were destroyed. The race of the Nephilim were destroyed by the flood in Noah's time. I also know that Sodom and Gomorrah, that God, rained down sulfuric acid, I believe it was, like sulfur, and burn it to a crisp. So could it happen? Maybe.
Hey, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all sub up and like the video. But until next time.
Come on, spill the tea.